All right, so
you the
apparently GTA
man.
6 has the most advanced AI ever created. And I think that's kind of crazy. So let's tap in and see what exactly is going on.
Every single day that passes, we get closer to Grand Theft Auto 6. And today, we're talking about the insane, revolutionary AI that is promised to us in Grand Theft Auto 6.
What if the game drops and like none of this is in it? Wouldn't that be like the worst thing? But we're confirmed that they've been doing a lot to this game, so it should be one of the greatest game drops ever.
So Grand Theft Auto 6 is set to revolutionize open world gaming with the most advanced NPC artificial intelligence system ever implemented in a video game. Rockstar Games has been quietly developing groundbreaking artificial intelligence technology that will fundamentally transform how non-playable characters behave, interact, and exist within the game world of Leonida. Unlike traditional NPCs,
that's gonna be so creepy low key though.
Follow like predetermined scripts and predictable patterns, Grand Theft Auto 6's characters will possess dynamic intelligence systems powered by advanced AI algorithms that enable real-time decision-making, adaptive behaviors, and persistent memory systems. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of technical jargon, but just stick with me here because this stuff's really exciting.
Basically, it is kind of cool. Basically, it's just saying that characters are going to be able to remember stuff, right? They're going to be able to interact with the world and just be more human-like, right? Like if you stop at NPC and you hit them and you go play another part of the game and you come back, the NPC is going to be like, oh, that's the guy that hit me yesterday, you know? Like, that's cool as hell.
What you really need to know is that means we're going from static, run-of-the-mill, non-responsive, repetitive NPCs to something that is truly lifelike. We're talking digital citizens here. So Take-Two Interactive has filed multiple patents that reveal the sophisticated AI systems powering GTA 6's NPCs. The most significant patent is patent, and I'm sorry, this is a mouthful, US 11684855B2. It's like a cheat code. Titled System and Method for Virtual Navigation in a Gaming Environment. So this introduces hierarchical course graph navigation and real-time decision-making neural networks. This patented system replaces simple pathfinding with a dual layer approach that processes navigation at two distinct levels. So NPCs can now make contextual driving decisions based on environmental data, including traffic density, weather conditions, road types, vehicle characteristics, personality traits, and even urgency levels. So let's say you're an NPC. Let's call him Tom.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm gonna spaz out, guys. This is crazy.
And Tom works a 9 to 5. Well, used to, Tom would just drive however that NPC was defined to drive. Well, now let's put him in a working man pool and maybe his marriage is on the rocks, you know, so he's programmed with a few variables and maybe his marriage is on the rocks because he got caught playing poker with the Christmas money again. So anyways, Tom's in a big hurry to get home to get Timmy to soccer practice. Now, something like this could be added as like a soft passive that acts on Tom's urgency levels. So let's say Tom is at a 20% urgency to get home already, just Tom, and a few other NPCs will put him at 20% as well, whatever connects through this tree of this kind of story. Well, now if Tom runs into, let's say, a traffic backup, he's going to be more likely to do something illegal to get around it or just to act like a douchebag on the road than, say, another NPC. Or maybe you have an NPC who is partaking in the devil's lettuce while driving around. They might drive the speed limit, which is very strange, especially here in Texas, or lower than the speed limit, and it's based solely on that. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but these are the kinds of different things you're going to be seeing on the road. It's always been interesting traveling on Grand Theft Auto's roads, but expect to see some really out there stuff, just like when you're driving in real life. And that's because rather than following fixed waypoints, NPCs are going to exhibit spatial and contextual thinking.
What? Another deal one?
Guys, do you really understand how crazy that's about to be?
Monday CRM, stop it. Did I log in my calls?
Choosing safer
Imagine GTA 8.
exits during emergencies, for example, or detours during traffic incidents. And in Tom's case, maybe he's going to hop a median and then get T-boned by an oncoming truck. Oh man, this is getting morbid. Anyways, let's move on. So let's talk a bit about an advanced procedural animation system. This is really exciting. So Rockstar has developed a revolutionary procedural motion system that breaks character movement into modular, reusable building blocks that can be dynamically reassembled in real time. That is freaking cool. So basically, instead of like having an NPC and being like, you will do this if this, you know, that's how that would normally happen. Now you're like, okay, you will do one of these few things if this, and that, and it's up to you to decide when you would do one of those things. Oh, you chose that. Well, now you will do this next thing based on not only choosing that, but these several other things as well. Oh, you did that thing? Well, now here's another list of things that you could possibly do based off the previous decision that this NPC has made. And
yeah, so basically for everyone who's not following, it's just gonna make the AIs be able to move in a more realistic way, right? Like, you know, instead of like this, it'll be like that, you know? Just make it a little bit more lifelike. That shit is really cool, guys. Like, we're really getting closer to a place where we can have almost like a lifelike simulation. Like, wouldn't that be crazy as fuck? Like all the way 100% lifelike.
external factors. So you can imagine how complicated it gets. So under patent, forgive me guys, US 11620781, it outlines this system and method for virtual character locomotion, which uses data-driven animation blending instead of massive preset animation libraries, like we just talked about. This means NPCs no longer play static animations, but adapt their movements based on context. And that's very important to making a game immersive. Context. A character walking in the rain while injured and carrying groceries will have their animation dynamically generated from individual motion components, like a limp animation plus a weather reaction plus object carrying equals unique, believable behavior. Now you can get a bunch of these different variables, sprinkle them in with a bunch of different NPCs, and you can just imagine how colorful the world will look around you, not in actual color, but in the movement of the NPCs around you, especially with these new muscle systems. But that's another story. The system can modify animations based on character state, weather conditions, fatigue levels, and environmental factors. So if you're like me and you went and bumped into NPCs in Grand Theft Auto 4 as soon as the game came out to play with the Euphoria physics, or if you just do that in any Rockstar title with Euphoria physics, if that's one of the first things you start playing with, then you're going to love this, because not only are the physics going to be top notch in this game, but now you're going to be able to see how they react, and it's going to be very interesting. And I know a lot of people have fun with this in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now you're really going to be able to throw a wrench in an NPC's day, which is kind of cool, because in a way, instead of everyone going on massive killing sprees, maybe we'll just all be going around mildly inconveniencing NPCs and seeing how they react. Now let's talk about memory systems and persistent.
Not mildly inconvincing NPCs, like causing a traffic jam. Like, what if they just get out and start like beating on your window, like, hey, open up?
Relationships. This is freaking awesome. One of the most groundbreaking features is the persistent memory system that allows NPCs to remember player actions and modify their behavior accordingly. If you frequently cause chaos in a specific neighborhood, for example, residents will begin to recognize and avoid you, or even become hostile based on past interactions. This memory system extends beyond simple reputation tracking. So NPCs can remember specific encounters, develop grudges, and even seek revenge on you. This system creates a living ecosystem where your actions have lasting consequences that persist throughout the game world. Can you imagine what that's going to look like? You know, you go into a neighborhood, you bump into a guy, and maybe you're doing it to test out the game like we just talked about, but you keep coming back and you bump into that guy and only that guy. Well, eventually that guy might have a baseball bat ready for you. I'm just saying, don't bully NPCs in this game, man. They're not going to put up with it. And while that is absolutely mind-blowing, these NPCs are also going to have a dynamic daily routine and schedule system like we haven't quite seen before. You see, Grand Theft Auto 6's NPCs will follow complex daily routines that go far beyond the simple patterns seen in previous games like Red Dead Redemption 2. So yes, NPCs are going to still have jobs, but now they're going to have relationships and personal schedules that change based on the day of the week, time of day, and current events. Beach areas will be crowded on weekends, but relatively empty during weekdays. With the same.
Are you serious, bro? Like, that's creepy. That is kind of creepy. Imagine how big this game file is going to be. Literally, I'm thinking like 200 gigabytes.
NPCs appearing in different attire, swimwear on Saturday, for example, business clothes on Monday. Traffic patterns are going to shift, you know, like with rush hour traffic, there's going to be heavier congestion during the morning and evening commutes. And this is going to create an authentic sense of living in a city with a realistic population. Something else that's really cool that I'm really happy to see them bringing back is weather responsive behavior. Now it is going to be more advanced in this, but in Grand Theft Auto 4, if it started to rain, you would see NPCs put on raincoats if they were the police, or, you know, just if they're walking around your standard NPCs, they might have an umbrella out, or they might put a newspaper over their head and run to avoid the rain. Well, now the advanced AI system includes sophisticated environmental awareness, particularly regarding the dynamic weather system. So NPCs will seek shelter during rainstorms, dress appropriately for weather conditions, and modify their activities based on temperature and atmospheric conditions. So during hot weather, NPCs might move more sluggishly, wear lighter clothing, and spend more time in shaded areas or air-conditioned buildings. When storms approach, they'll rush indoors, pull out umbrellas, or cancel outdoor activities. This level of environmental responsiveness has never been achieved in open-world gaming. And it's interesting too, because you'll be playing the game, you'll be like, why does this feel so immersive? And it's things like this, things you can't quite put your finger on, but it's literally because the NPCs around you are making the decisions that the people in the world in real life around you make every day. So I don't know if you hated the witness system in Red Dead Redemption 2, but even if you did, now it's going to get a total overhaul because we have real-time crime reporting and witness systems. Perhaps the most game-changing feature is going to be this real-time crime reporting system where NPCs call 911 to report witness crimes. I mean, they did do that in Grand Theft Auto 4. But
yeah, about to say, didn't they do that in the other games? What about this one makes it so special?
This is going to move beyond scripted police responses to dynamic law enforcement based on actual eyewitness accounts, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, but NPCs will react differently to crimes based on their personality and situation. So now, if you accidentally kick a horse in the shin, or if you just bumped into an NPC, you're not going to get the cops called on you or the lawman called on you. It's going to be dependent on the NPC's personality and the situation you're in. Like in older titles, some will flee, others will record incidents with their phones. I think we saw a little bit of that in Grand Theft Auto 5, and a few might even attempt to intervene. But what makes this more advanced than previous titles is it will be heavily influenced by the context of what you're doing. So these interactions, while they were immersive and cool in previous titles, they're going to feel more realistic now. The police response will vary also based on the severity of the witness crimes and the quality of witness descriptions, which is pretty freaking awesome. So if you go over and slap someone, you're not going to have the entire police force show up and immediately gun you down like they do in Grand Theft Auto 5. It might be a little similar to Grand Theft Auto 4, where you have one cop get out of the car and be like, hey, what are you doing, man? And the witness description bit also plays into this new disguise system, but that is covered in a previous video. The police are going to have a working memory of who you are, so you're going to have to change how you look, or maybe just get out of there. The whole idea of witness descriptions and everything thing is going to give you a reason to keep a low profile and also completely change the way you approach doing what you're doing. It's really freaking cool because now you're not going to be able to go somewhere, gun down a bunch of people and, walk around a corner and someone be like,
and just walk away and nobody's going to say anything.
Like, oh, hey, how's it going? You're going to have to really think ahead before you do things, like in real life. Speaking of police, let's talk about advanced police AI and tactical responses. So the law enforcement AI represents a massive upgrade from previous Grand Theft Auto games. Police NPCs will use advanced tactics and coordination based on threat assessment, available units, and surveillance data. Instead of the omniscient tracking of Grand Theft Auto 5, which I absolutely hated, police will conduct realistic searches, losing track of players who break line of sight or change appearance. This new system includes dispatch timers that give players time to plan before police arrive. And officers will attempt negotiation before resorting to violence. And that's kind of similar to how it works in Grand Theft Auto 4. A little bit. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 4 was much simpler than that. But
I'm weird. It's not even how it happens in real life.
Be nice to see that again, is what I'm getting at. Police can identify suspects based on vehicle descriptions and witness accounts rather than supernatural awareness. We were talking about NPCs whipping out their phones, and social media is going to play a big part of this game. So it's looking like NPCs will record player actions and potentially share them on in-game social media platforms. So causing public incidents could lead to viral videos that affect how NPCs throughout the city recognize and react to you. So some of the stuff you're seeing in the trailers could just be straight up gameplay that has been captured by an NPC and posted on social media. So if you go on a huge killing spree, you might have like a live leak style video pop up in the game. This creates a dynamic reputation system where your notoriety spreads organically through social networks. So some NPCs may act as influencers with substantial followings, and interactions with these characters could trigger citywide reactions or unlock exclusive content. Your actions could become trending topics that influence NPC behavior across the
Really?
entire game world. And maybe you'll have to pay certain influencers a visit if they're posting a little too much about you. So we talked
That is insane. Social media.
a little bit about how NPCs are going to navigate traffic, but how about how they walk around the world? There's now going to be enhanced pathfinding and spatial intelligence. So this is an AI system that features revolutionary pathfinding that allows NPCs to navigate complex environments with human-like intelligence. Instead of getting stuck on obstacles or following rigid paths, NPCs can now problem solve navigation challenges in real time. So you're not going to catch some dude staring at you going, hey, how's it going? And bumping into a wall over and over again, which, while it's funny, is not immersive. NPCs will exhibit different movement behaviors based on their roles and personalities. Police officers, for example, will move differently than gang members, and they'll hold themselves differently. How they walk around, their posture will be different. Tourists will behave distinctly from locals, and each character type will have appropriate spatial awareness and decision-making patterns. Now, something people have been talking about since Grand Theft Auto 3, when the world was 3D and we were able to go into certain interiors, has been, hey man, one day I want to go into all the buildings. Well, guess what? We're going to get pretty dang close, it looks like, because there is procedural interior generation in Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, that's what the patent says anyway. So Take-Two's patent for procedural interior generation allows the creation of unique indoor spaces using AI-driven asset placement. So instead of manually crafting every interior, the system uses tags and style parameters to generate diverse living spaces automatically. So you can see how great this would be for stuff like office buildings. High-end apartments will feature expensive, clean decor, while rundown homes will have cheap or broken items. This technology enables far more enterable buildings without the massive development overhead of handcrafted interiors. This kind of reminds me of the projects buildings in Grand Theft Auto 4. They all kind of look the same, but they still had to be handcrafted. Well, buildings like that don't need to be handcrafted. Buildings like that can literally just fall within a certain set of parameters and they'll get the job done, allowing for you to go into more interiors. And really, guys, I think this is cool because it doesn't really matter if a dev works on it and actually physically puts a bed somewhere. It doesn't matter. This will be good for buildings that follow a repetitive nature, because nothing is more annoying when you're running away from police and you can't open a door to a building to get away from them. But not only are we going to have all of those improvements, we're also going to have engine improvements. So let's talk about these Rage 9 engine improvements. Grand Theft Auto 6 runs on Rage 9, the latest iteration of Rockstar's advanced game engine, which features significant improvements to AI processing, physics simulation, and character intelligence. The engine supports more sophisticated NPC behaviors, improved animation systems, and enhanced environmental interactions. The graphics gap between Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 6 will be substantial, driven not just by visual fidelity, but by the intelligence and realism of character behaviors. Like I said, the world's not going to be more colorful just because of the actual colors, but because of how people react and act in the world.
Bro, I can't wait for this fucking game to come out, bro. I can't wait. I'm telling you, that shit's gonna jump.
9 enables thousands of NPCs to operate with individual AI systems simultaneously without performance degradation. And I think that is what is taking Grand Theft Auto 6 so long. That's my big crackpot conspiracy. You see, all of this processing that the game has to do would be heavy on, guess what? Your processor and your computer and stuff like that. And frankly, this level of processing power is just unheard of. This kind of processing power is something you would see in like a city building game with all of the people walking around, or like some overhead war game, just any game where there's a bunch of NPCs out and about doing things. But this kind of takes it to a whole new level. It's kind of a shame that a lot of this is patented, because games in general could improve significantly with this type of technology. But maybe it'll be licensed out, because basically it allows for very complex decision making without performance degradation. And this is not related to this, but I'd love to see that in games like Total War, for example.
But if you can pull up the patent, if you can pull up the patent, I'm pretty sure somebody can figure out some way to do it in a similar way, right?
About Euphoria physics integration. I love Euphoria physics. Oh my God, I love Euphoria physics. I think it's the best damn thing to ever happen to video games. And the Euphoria physics in this game is going to be insane. So the advanced Euphoria physics engine returns, of course, in Grand Theft Auto 6 with significant improvements and enhancements that create more realistic character reactions and interactions. NPCs will react naturally to physical impacts, stumble when shot, and display dynamic balance recovery rather than scripted falling animations. I don't have to tell you that though. If you've played any Rockstar game, you know that, duh. But now it's going to be much more complex looking. Think about Red Dead Redemption 2's incredible Euphoria physics. Now think about mods like the Live Leak mod and how insane that looks. You know, you've probably seen a kill montage for Red Dead Redemption 2 and they use these really cool Euphoria physics plugins. Well, this is going to be something that's better than even that. This integration with AI systems means NPCs don't just think more realistically, they move and react physically in believable ways that enhance the overall sense of interacting with real people rather than programmed entities. So Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has emphasized. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has emphasized that while digital tools have always been part of game development, the creative genius is human. The company is leveraging artificial intelligence to enhance rather than replace human creativity. And that is something I absolutely love to hear. And that should be humanity's relationship with AI. I could get on my soapbox right now about how it's replacing art instead of making our lives easier, but yada yada, you get it. Anyways, AI is supposed to get the obnoxious stuff out of the way. And it feels like that's what it's doing this time. It's getting all of the number crunching and data efficiencies out of the way so that Rockstar Games can see their vision for Grand Theft Auto 6 through to fruition. Because yes, they're using machine learning, but it's to create more interesting and diverse NPC behaviors rather than manually scripting them. By doing this, you allow for virtually infinite possibilities. And that's what we want out of our NPCs. That's the thing that should be able to make decisions based off the context of a given situation, independent of being told what to do by a developer. Rockstar's approach represents the most ambitious implementation of artificial intelligence in gaming history, moving beyond simple behavior trees to create truly intelligent digital characters capable of learning, remembering, and evolving their responses based on player interactions. And what's nuts about this is just the beginning of all of this. Guys,
exactly. Imagine like 10, 15 years from now, how crazy all this is going to look.
Sure, we're going to see a shift towards interactive environments that feel genuinely alive, like in Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, it's going to become more and more common. NPCs that remember, learn, and adapt and respond like real people, creating unprecedented levels of immersion that blur the lines between digital and reality. In a way, it's kind of scary, but that's another conversation. This technology positions Grand Theft Auto 6 not just as another video game, but as a breakthrough in interactive simulation that will influence the entire entertainment industry. NPCs won't just populate the world, they'll inhabit it as believable digital citizens with their own lives, memories, and relationships. The revolutionary AI in Grand Theft Auto 6 represents the biggest leap forward in NPC intelligence since the inception of open world gaming, promising to deliver the most realistic and immersive virtual world ever created. So what do you think? Are you excited about this? Are you ready for this? Have we got—
What if like GTA 6 paid this guy to make this whole video? I'd be like, this is the best GTA 6 ad ever, cause